Let's go, Brazil! Before I even start this video, I want to show you one thing. Look at this, guys. Oh, man, listen to this guy over here. I think it's going to be a tight match. I think it's going to be 2-1. I believe Japan is going to score either in the beginning of the match, in the first half, or if they are playing defensively. Because here's what I think Japan's going to do. I think Japan's going to attack while Brazil is still cold to try to get the first goal and then try to play defensively. Or they're going to play defensively and then try to attack, get the counterattack going for Brazil.
Which is what they did. Which is what
and
they
I feel
did.
like that's going to be the first goal for Japan, and then Brazil is going to wake up and then they're going to score and turn it around. I feel like that's how the match is going to go. That's normally how Brazil plays. They only wake up when they get slapped on the face. Let me know your thoughts, guys. I'll see you, and hopefully we'll see Brazil go through. Unless you, and we did, you're Japanese, then you guys want to see Japan. Yeah, I'm sorry for Japan, but listen, I was not even worried when Japan scored the first goal because I had the script. I knew that Brazil was going to win 2-1, and I was telling my wife, "Don't worry, I have already put it out there. I've posted it. You know, this prediction was an hour, 2 hours before the match began, 2 or 3 hours before. I don't know. You got to check the time code over there on the video that I posted, and it's absolutely insane that it's exactly how it happened. Brazil is pretty predictable when it comes to these things because they underestimate their team, their opponent, and it's just insane. But the craziest thing is everybody wanted Casemiro out. Everybody wanted Ancelotti to change things up, and he didn't change. He didn't take Casemiro out. Casemiro scored a header, and then Casemiro went out. They put Fabinho in, and he had put Martinelli in, which is absolutely insane. Like, why are you taking out Cunha, who was doing a fantastic job? Cunha was so close to the goal so many times. And then he added Martinelli, who had so many missed opportunities. He also lost possession. And I myself was saying, why, Martinelli? Why? And then he scored. I don't know. Ancelotti is a wizard. And I know that my prediction was on point, but Ancelotti, he is a wizard. I absolutely don't understand his mind, but it works. It was very harsh for Japan, last minute goal. But guys, it is what it is. It's football. And Japan played very well. Japan played very well. Guys, this is a video that will probably get blocked. So I'm just going to play the audio for you guys.
Remember, they're 10 games unbeaten.
This is the last minute.
This is Endrick. He's robbed by Tanaka. He's given the ball back to Ryan. And now Bruno Guimaraes looking for room, finding Martinelli!
That's insane. That's absolutely insane.
Back from behind. The boys from Brazil lead in Houston. And it's going to be World Cup heartbreak for Japan.
Why do you do this to us, Brazil? Why do you do this to us?
It's a goal of Brazilian beauty, and Japan are going to be jettisoned again at the first knockout stage.
And after this, I was so worried, guys. I was really absolutely worried. This is the reaction of every single Brazilian right now. This is us. I can't believe it. We are breathing, fresh air now. Japan has been eliminated. It's really sad for Japan because Japan has their biggest team, their best team ever. And, listen, guys, I believe that Japan improved so much after they had a Brazilian coach, Zico. And I believe that they have so much respect for Brazil. And it's football. If Japan had won, it would have been an amazing historic feat for Japan, but that didn't happen. Brazil won. I sympathize with the Japanese because, oh man, they're such like respectful people, and it wasn't meant to be. This is Brazil. This is what we do. This is our sport. Ancelotti wasn't really crazy about the game at the end there. He wasn't crazy celebrating because he knew that it wasn't over yet. It wasn't over yet. And we saw Austria and Algeria, what happened in the very last second. And the game it went until 101 minutes, man. It was the longest extra time that I've ever experienced. It was 11 minutes in. 101 minutes. It's absolutely insane. And look at that kid right on the right, far right over there. It feels like it's very surreal because although I predicted it, although I had it 100% in my mind and in my heart that Brazil would win 2-1, as you saw the prediction in the beginning of the video, you can't ever predict something like that, or actually, it's just absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. The goal was absolutely beautiful. 95 minutes on the dot. Brazil and Japan 1-1. Absolutely crazy. Now, what I do want to do, and that won't get blocked, is look at Brazil versus Japan stats. Because Japan wasn't doing much, I'll tell you. They were keeping it safe because they knew that Brazil was going to be dangerous. And although I do sympathize with Japan, I just want to address one thing. One of the Japanese players said Brazil was not the same team that they used to be, and they're not as strong as they used to be, and Neymar is a weak player. Those things, those are mind games, and it hurts to hear those things because it, it we don't want to see that in football, but it does happen. But anyways, let's take a look at the stats here. Brazil 2, Japan 1. So Casemiro, after having a yellow card, after not doing much, losing the ball, and well, he didn't lose the ball actually. He was supposed to be in a better position against the Japanese players, but he wasn't. So after I would say he messed up. I think it was Casemiro's mistake. He messed up. That led to Japan's first goal early on in the 29th minute. Casemiro redeemed himself. It was a redemption, and it's interesting because every single one of us thought that Casemiro was going to go out in the first half because he had a yellow card and he made a mistake, and it was almost certain that he would have been subbed out, but he wasn't. And in the 56th minute, he scored for Brazil. In fact, the second half, Brazil was attacking so much. It was beautiful to see. So many opportunities created, and almost a few goals came from it. And then in the very last minute, Martinelli scored a beautiful goal off the post, taking Suzuki completely out of the equation. We have the stats. Brazil had 20 shots, 7 shots on target. And I'll tell you one thing. Brazil was attacking more than Japan. However, Japan was surgical. Japan was very accurate, very efficient in its counterattacks. Japan had 5 shots, 2 on target, 1 goal. Brazil had 60% of possession against 40% of Japan. It seemed like it was more, actually. I think in the second half there, Brazil was at 80%. Brazil had 679 passes, 92 pass accuracy. Japan started to panic and only had 86% pass accuracy with 300 passes. We could literally see the moment Japan started to panic when Brazil started pressuring. It was funny at first because Japan was pressuring Brazil, and everybody was like, yeah, Japan is good at pressuring. But when the tables turned, Japan crumbled, and yeah, Japan was playing very aggressively. There were 13 fouls, 3 yellow cards, and I believe there should have been more. And there should have been a penalty. There should have been more fouls. But anyways, Brazil had 4 fouls, 2 yellow cards. There was 1 offside to Brazil and 6 corners to Brazil, which I don't think they did as much as they could have with those corners, and 2 to Japan. I believe that Neymar should have played, not because, Neymar is in his best condition. I think he is injured. There's something wrong that Neymar didn't play today. There has to be something wrong. And I do trust Ancelotti. I didn't trust him at first, but now I trust him. Surprisingly, I trusted him before this match. And I said, if he didn't put Neymar, there must be a reason. But the reason I wanted Neymar in is because, one, Neymar is the best player to create opportunities. And the fact that he played 18 minutes and created 3 opportunities in the last match was great. But although he did lose possession a few times, and you cannot lose possession against Japan. You can't do that. Which is a great upgrade with Vini Jr. He only lost possession twice in the whole match. He was losing possession quite a few times. And also, Marquinhos didn't lose possession. Not anything critical. But anyways, the reason I wanted Neymar in was because Vini Jr. was so marked. He had 3 defenders on him. And when Endrick came on, the 3 defenders that were on Vini Jr. became 2 defenders, and then there were 3 on Endrick. And Endrick really created some opportunities. He didn't score, but he created great opportunities. And I feel like he could have scored if he had less marking. Japan was pressuring so much. And I feel like if Neymar was in there, Neymar has gravity. Neymar has, and when I say gravity, it means he can pull defenders out of their positions. And I feel like Neymar could have opened up for Vini and Endrick. Because when Neymar is on pitch, people are like, we got to mark him. We got to be on him. And I felt like if he was on pitch, there would be less marking on Endrick and Vini. That would open them up. He's a great player to create opportunities, and I think that would have been a great strategy, great formation. But I trust Ancelotti, and he definitely, I think it was more of possession. He definitely didn't want to lose possession against Japan, because every time Brazil lost possession, it was absolutely insane. The attack, the pressure, the speed, the strength, the physicality of Japan was absolutely insane. But anyways, guys, those are my thoughts. That's my reaction. Brazil is through to round of 18. It was a lot of suffering. Japan is a great team. And guys, a lot of people were like, oh, we're going to lose to Japan. Look at Japan matches. Let's take a look and let's value Japan. Look at what Japan has done. Brazil won against Japan. But before that, Japan hadn't lost any match. Look at that. They tied against Sweden. They won 4-0 against Tunisia. They tied against the Netherlands, which I think are going to probably be in the finals with Brazil. They won against Iceland. They won against England. They won against Scotland. They won against South Korea. They won against Japan. They won against China. They won against Hong Kong. But there were more. Let's see. Friendly. I know that they won against other teams as well. Let's see. Qualify. Was it the qualifying? I know that they beat Germany also. I know that they beat they were beating everyone. Where is it that they beat? Actually, it's international friendlies, isn't it? Was it before? Okay, there it is. It's 2025. Okay, they lost one match to the United States, but the United States is playing really well. So they won 3-2 against Brazil. When did they win against Germany? Okay, here they won against Germany. See, they have been winning. They have been on a winning streak. They won against Canada. They won against Turkey. They have been winning. They have been winning. They are a great team, and it was always going to be a hard match. So everybody who's saying, "Oh, come on, we're going to lose to Japan," no. Japan is not a small team anymore. Japan is a powerful opponent, and they are giant killers. But not today, because Brazil went through. I feel like Brazil did prove that they can survive under pressure, because I don't think there's any other team that can pressure as much as Japan. I think they're the best to pressure another team. However, that's the end of Japan's route in this World Cup. It's so sad that it had to be with Brazil. I feel like you guys could have gone much further, but you lost to the best team in the world, and we're going to win the World Cup, and you will be able to say, we only lost to the champions. If we had not gone against Brazil, we could have gone all the way. Take care, guys. Arigato. Obrigado. See you. Let me know your thoughts. Bye-bye.